everybody, welcome to another edition of Technique Tasters from Creative Scrapbooker magazine. My name is Noreen Smith and I usually blog and create over at Organized and Creative Mom, and I'm really happy to be here today with you. Today I'm sort of challenging myself to make a layout using only the new dot tip pens from Creative Memories, the new Everyday Journal template, some photos of course, and some white cardstock. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge for me as I love to use lots of different pattern papers and things like that. So join me as I use these minimal supplies to maximum effect on a layout. All right, so I'm going to get started by taking my piece of just 12 by 12 cardstock, and I'm just going to add a little dab of repositionable adhesive, and I'm actually going to adhere it to the 13 by 13 inch cutting mat from Creative Memories. I'm just going to center it and make sure it's down there in the center. And the reason I'm doing that is that I want to be able to refer to these markings around the edge while I make a little bit of a border. Now this particular template is the first journal template that Creative Memories has come out with. You can see I've been playing with it a lot. And it's got these great little designs, some fun banners, some lines for journaling, as well as bullet and kind of square checklists. I don't know if you can see those there. And then also some larger shapes that you can add. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start off by using the outside edge of the template to create kind of a border. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to know about these new dot tip pens is as you press down, you create a larger dot, and then you can kind of control the size of the dot by the amount of pressure you add and how long you hold it down for. So these four pens are the dot tip pens, and they also have a fine tip. So I'm going to be using pretty much the dot tip because I love the kind of the thick and juicy sort of look of them. Okay, so I'm just going to go around the outside edge of the template. I'm just going to kind of stop there and then flip it around and finish off my outline. What I'm going to do now that I have kind of a border around my page is I'm going to take each color and I'm going to make a series of dots around the edge of the page, and that's why I wanted to use these little markings. I'm going to make a dot at every half inch. So I was kind of thinking that I would put my photos like this and then have two sort of clusters. And what I wanted to do for the clusters, now that I kind of know where my photos are going to go, I'm going to use the this round circle to kind of create two circles to anchor my embellishment clusters. So I'm just going to move my photos here, and I'm just going to trace through. Circle. I'm going to do another one down here, and maybe I'll use the blue. So let's go ahead and adhere my photos. Okay, so I've got my photos down here, and now I want to create some embellishments to kind of put in these circles. So I'm just going to set this aside, and I've got my kind of scrap piece of paper, again just white cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and trace and stencil, I guess, a bunch of different embellishments. So okay. So I think that's everything that I want to color. Now all I'm going to have to do is cut these out. Okay, so you can see that I've got quite a few little embellishments cut out here. I've got some flowers, and when I cut them out, I just left a little bit of white cardstock showing through. And then I did go ahead and made several of the smaller embellishments, the hearts and the stars, and I cut those out right along the edge so that there's no white showing. And there's my two banners that I'm going to use as well. So I think we're done with the template for now. Okay, so what I was kind of thinking, we'll bring back the layout here. What I was kind of thinking is that I would have a couple of these flowers down here anchoring the circles, and then my titles would just sort of, you know, maybe be something like that, kind of symmetrical. And then I'm going to start to add some of those little hearts and stars around. So I think I've used all the embellishments that I want. So now I'm just going to go ahead and adhere them. Okay, so I've got all of my embellishments that I want on here, and really all that I need to do now is do my titles and then maybe some journaling. So I think what I'll do, I wanted to call this Backyard Buddies because, you know, here's the older brother helping the little guy, and then of course they're swinging on the swing. So I thought I would just write Backyard and Buddies in these banners using the pens. And again, I know that it's hard sometimes to trust your writing. A lot of us don't love our handwriting, but you know, this is the look for this particular layout. Lots of sort of hand-drawn, you know, and nothing is going to be perfect. So it's all got that unique sort of charm. All right, so there we go. We've got Backyard Buddies. And then I thought what I would do in here is just write a little bit about how Grayson and Sam, my two sons, love to play together in the backyard. So I think that's really about it. I've got a couple more embellishments that I could use, you know, to fill in some of this area up here, but I think maybe I'll just add a couple more dots there. Maybe I'll add the year down here. This was summer 2010. So let's do that in the green. And I think that's really about it. Let's just add maybe a couple of dots in here just to kind of carry on that theme. And I think we're just about done. So there you go, a layout made just with the new pens, that fun template, and some cardstock. So if you've been hesitating to draw and doodle on your layouts, I really encourage you to give it a shot. Use a template to, you know, help you have a little bit more confidence with your embellishments and your drawing, but you can see that it does not have to be perfect, and it's going to be full of charm and handmade goodness. So thanks very much for joining me. Thanks again to Creative Scrapbooker Magazine for having me back, and we'll see you again on another episode of Technique Tasters. Thanks very much. Bye-bye for now.